What's up, WWE Champions Universe? Welcome to the final Champions Chat of 2023. And we are the fastest growing podcast dedicated to the WWE Champions mobile game. I'm the Demon Rusty Graves, and with me as always, Senor Money in the Bank, Lee Brown. What's up, Lee?
Hey, Rusty, how you doing?
The Judgment Day runs Monday Night Raw.
Man, if we're gonna be Judgment Day, can I be R-Truth? I don't have those comedic timing, but
he's officially in. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched this week's WWE TV, R-Truth is now apparently in Judgment Day after beating JD McDonough in a loser quits the
loser
Judgment,
leaves Judgment Day. Although they kind of reversed it towards the end of the episode, at least with JD. I don't know what they're gonna do with Ron the Truth Killings, but right. Hopefully he's in, because he is immediately once again my favorite thing on WWE TV. And in our little game, R-Truth the Acrobat became top tier again.
Yeah, so he did. R-Truth is back in so many ways. And side note, did you know this, Lee? He's actually Roman Reigns' like real life best friend. Like they're besties.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know John Cena and him always hung around, and he breaks Brock Lesnar on camera all the time. And I mean, just hilarious.
Roman and Ron like vacation together, like hang out and stuff.
Weird.
Yeah.
hey, if you're listening to this, Ron, the Truth Killings, we would love to have you on this podcast.
What's up? Yeah. Anyway, that was a horrible
one of the best
impression of one of the best. Hey, today's show notes, what we're going to be doing so that you can know whether or not you want to listen till the bitter end or not. We hope you do. But we are going to be covering our top 5 moments in WWE Champions game each, and our top 5 moments in WWE TV this year. So it's kind of a year in review episode. Also, we're going to be covering in some part later on in the show what's going on in the world of WWE TV. As we count down the very short interval, the road to day 1 premium live event, which was canceled last year and was not on the website as even happening until they announced it like 2 weeks ago. So crazy. I was wondering, what is all this Cody and Nakamura stuff even building to? And like, well, there we go. Like there's going to be something between now in Royal Rumble that like it sets up for the Rumble. So yeah,
it's a special episode of Raw is what it is. I don't know if they're calling it a premium live event. It's Raw day 1. Yeah.
Oh, weird. But it's going to be on TV, or it's going to be on like Peacock?
No, it'll be on TV. It'll be Raw. It'll be on a Monday. Because Monday, January 1st, right? Because that's the way the calendar falls.
So it'll be like tribute to the troops. It'll be a special episode of Raw that has momentum behind it in a special name. Okay.
On a very special episode of Raw, Cody's going to teach you what to do when kids at school are bullying you. Did you ever see that back in the 80s? There was these anti-bullying campaigns, and one of them was like Hulk Hogan when he was a kid. It was completely made up, but at the time I was a little kid, I didn't know it was or whatever. And it was all about like what he did at school to stop being bullied. They played it between episodes of Salute Your Shorts. It was great.
Wow. There's so much nostalgia there. I'm not sure which direction to take.
Well, see, I'm wearing my nostalgic. If you're watching on the YouTube video, you can see this Christmas sweater I got here. That's all the figures from Hasbro's line in the 80s as an ugly sweater. So we got the festive spirit.
Some of those Hasbro figures were better than others. Like some had like fully like moved like gorilla press arms, and then others were like stuck in a frozen position, or their legs were just like one
they were glued together.
Yes, but they were great. I mean they looked better than other toys or action figures in that era. They had more detail than GI Joes had. They had they just were like that was a premium action figure. Look at that, the neck, it's like a Pez dispenser.
Well, you hold him like this and you pop down and then he jumps. Like that was the way the rockers were. And
I had the blue ring. I had that from that series, the blue
I did too.
ring with the red, white, and blue ropes and the little
I did too. I miss it.
Turnbuckles. Yeah, it was great stuff. My buddy from college, Keith Heron, still has one of those rings like in the box in his
Oh, wow.
office in Beaumont, Texas. Yeah, crazy, crazy,
Nice.
crazy. Well, Lee,
Well,
let's talk about 2023 year in review. We're counting down from number 5, both in the game and in WWE TV. Do you want to do those as two separate segments, or do you want to interweave
yeah, we'll
them?
do WWE TV at the end like we normally do
Nice,
for those who are
perfect.
listening. But yeah, in the game and in the community of the game first.
Number 5, top moment in WWE Champions in 2023. What you got, Lee?
So for me, mine are always kind of pulling back a little bit. I put the inception of our community spotlight segments as one of my favorite things
Oh,
this year, because getting other people involved from across the community. We've had from Woken to the Black Pearl. We've had players who are on the top of the charts and players who are figuring out the game. We've had some guest spots on our 3-minute move sets.
right.
We've even had a few where we've done like special interviews, special videos, even poll videos where other people are sending in their poll video and we
Yeah.
react to them. Like just the engagement from the community. I think if you want to kind of sum that up in one thing, the engagement from the community, I think has been really fun this year.
That's tremendous. And just for the record, Lee and I have not seen one another's list. So I
Right.
don't know what he's going to share. He doesn't know what I'm going to share. That's a tremendous number 5. I'm so glad it's on your list. It's not on my list. And I think it's one of the things that's actually distinctive about our little content that we make, our little show. I was going to say our little podcast. We've outgrown the podcast format, even though we still record it as a podcast and we have segments and we splice those up and we do other content, and we do more video content. We started as an audio only podcast
Yep.
using 2 phones where we couldn't see each other and we had to just hope our timing was good. Um,
Right.
and that alone could be on the list, our evolution of technology in the top 5. But my favorite thing that you shared there about the community spotlight is that we've gotten into the humanity behind the technology. We've gotten into
Mhm.
how the game has helped piece back together families that were
Yeah.
separated, how they have helped in people's mental health journey, how we have seen people with addiction issues or depression, even suicidal thoughts and attempts come to a place of hopefully, right, beginning to find some hope and hear that there's more to life and more even to the game than just some of the dark recesses of the heart that seem to creep in and
Mm.
take over. So community spotlight, huge, huge, probably kind of secretly number 1. Like you guys, the listener, the viewer, like make this possible and like
That's
are the
right.
reason, and you're the reason for my number 5, which
Ooh.
I said one of the top things to happen in WWE Champions this year. Number 5 was us becoming official Scopely content creators. I put it as number 5 because I didn't want it to be like the big deal, but it's only been possible because of people commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, sending things to their faction on Discord, disseminating the
Yep.
intel that we've posted on tier ranking charts and boss battle strategy guides on Reddit. And so we basically went from like pirate radio
Right.
to kind of digital, I don't know, entrepreneurs that wanted to help the community. And then suddenly we got a knock on our door saying, hey, why don't you guys keep doing what you're doing, but do it officially? And we want to help kind of push out your stuff to the community. And so for me, that's only possible because of the community itself. And so we thank you. You're the reason we're here. You're the reason we do this. And you're the
Yeah.
reason that we're having even moderate success is because of the community.
Absolutely. I mean, that's I won't spoil my list, but we may see this again. And I would say, I would say, okay, so um, some things I was thinking about when we get later on in here, but legitimately over the last couple of years, we went from watching Goldie and Davy and Professor and Benny and Merrick's, obviously Gerson's. We went from watching DJ on streams
I was just saying,
to now
please
like
don't leave anybody out.
I know, right, right. You
Name
got to
them
keep
all.
going through.
When you start
Well,
naming
we
people,
went
you're like,
from
oh
seeing
no.
Sir Zorro's videos where it's
Zorro,
like,
yeah,
oh my gosh,
yeah,
how in the world are we going to do that? He just
yeah,
blew everybody out of the water.
yeah.
To, I
Acro
mean, like
Macho Man hits for 30 million, like insane stuff like that, right?
Acro
Um,
Slim Jim. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah. Oh,
yes.
sorry. When is it?
We
And
can't
it,
say that word anymore. Oh, speaking of being official, yeah, no, we went from watching these guys
this
to
is
to
live,
sitting
folks.
alongside. So that's crazy. It's just crazy to me. Like,
I'm gonna write
yeah,
myself a little post-it of like words never to say.
right. Well, we we were a little behind the scenes we can talk about here. Like we were talking with Davey, like, hey, what are the things? Is there a list somewhere of the things we were supposed to say and not say? And we've kind of gotten some of that. But I remember back in the day, talk about WWE history gone by. Greg Miller now does It's Kind of Funny, and he's on that This Is Awesome show. But
That
back in the
guy
day,
can,
like us, he was just huge
yes,
super fan of
meteoric
WWE.
rise to success
Yeah.
and is
Oh
now an
yeah.
official WWE employee, which is incredible. So
Right. Yeah. And I remember him talking about he used to do the reviews for SmackDown versus Raw video games. And he said at some point, I don't even remember why I heard it, where I heard it, or why it stuck in my brain, but there was an edict that a certain son-in-law who was rising up in the company to become a almost owner was not allowed to be shown in a prone position in any of their articles, any of their pictures, like could not be shown on the losing end in any, so like there's some things, you just gotta, we are learning.
well, that's a weird look behind the curtain, but that's why we're
That's why we're here. We're
number
still pirate
4.
radio. We
Let's
just
take
have a
it.
louder megaphone.
I'll tell you what, let's take it back to the game. We talked about the community. My number 4, I can't wait to hear yours, but my number 4 might be surprising to you. It's
Okay.
Ghostbuster John Cena. Ghostbuster John
Ooh,
Cena was one of the best things that happened to me in 2023. And I say that
nice.
in all seriousness. Number one, he's I think the best Cena. Arguably, he's my best Cena. He's
Yeah.
became my best acro. He became, for a stint, he was my best 6-star. He was my best showdown superstar. He was my best feuder. And
Yeah.
certainly he has been the most talked about, I would think, probably the most talked about and the most featured superstar of all of the content and all of the things that have happened around the community. And who should I take up? Is he any
Yep.
good? Constantly his name over. No, take up Cena instead. No, don't do that. Don't waste time. But should I take up Wesley? No, wait, Cena first. You're just like,
Yeah.
is it real? Are we really talking about this free um,
Crossover.
yeah, just fun, funny, kind of whimsical superstar that like shouldn't be meta defining, but
Right.
he helped me climb the mountain in a way this year that basically was like having a jetpack on at times for me,
Yeah.
who at times and for years had been a free to play player. He was a gift that fell from the heavens onto my roster that I worked up as quickly as I could. And I think he was the first superstar that I didn't use IOW tokens or Hall of Fame tokens on. I actually earned through gameplay and through 6-star tokens, pushing up, and kind of like we always say, like once you break the dam,
Right.
it just kind of begins to flow. So yeah, for me, number 4 and set up the rest of my year as a success, Ghostbuster John Cena.
That's awesome. And I agree. I mean, he came out November of 22, but I mean, practically most of us were using him a lot in
Oh,
2023.
yeah.
And
He
he was and is like up until 6-star silver meta, there was no better free-to-play character than Acro Ghostbuster John Cena. It just there wasn't one. And even when 6-star meta, 6-star silver, that is, when the 6-star silver meta hit, he took a little bit of a hit because now, he's doing 5 million damage per turn, but now people have 20 million health. But even still, I mean, really, the turn one win characters weren't really
can't you
out
can't sub him.
in that
What are you going to
force.
do? You can't sub him
Yeah,
down. You
right,
can't. Your perks can't drain his MP. He's
right.
untouchable, baby. He's untouchable.
Yeah.
You can't see me. I'm a Ghostbuster. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's so good. He's so good.
It was so
Uh,
good.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. Awesome.
What's your number 4? I can go on and on about how much I love Ghostbuster John Cena.
Oh, absolutely. And you should. You should. Yes, he is still worth taking 6-star silver. Yes, he's still relevant. Maybe not as relevant depending on your roster, but
Bro, he's
yes, he
relevant.
is that good.
He sets the bar.
We
Anyway,
are the bar.
man, that's such that gimmick.
That
Anyway,
was great.
it really was of two
Yeah.
obscure. Yeah. Anyway, go
If
ahead.
Sheamus hadn't become a brawling brute, I would say that is the best thing he's ever done. But the brawling brutes is pretty
True.
fun. It's
True.
fight night.
Yeah.
So my number 4. So I promise I'll get into the in-game stuff with my top ones here coming
Yeah.
up. But I have Iron Sheik 84, Professor, and Davey D putting us on the map. Like I legitimately believe if Iron Sheik hadn't agreed to become our first guest and then first recurring guest on the channel, on the podcast, at the time it was just the podcast. If Professor hadn't popped on here. Now, Professor and I have since talked, off camera behind the scenes, and he's like, hey, like nobody like talks and says, hey, we should be looking for these guys. We should be bringing up these. Like there wasn't like they pushed. It was just one of those things like, hey, I think maybe once some of the officials came on, we kind of got on people's radar. And then Davey, we were joking with him last night that he is the kingmaker around here. Like he is the one Davey is the bar, right? That's the one that we've all tried to rise with and rise to. So big shout out to Iron Sheik 84, big shout out to Professor and Davey D. And that's not to single out or exclude any of the other content creators, but those were the 3 that were on the podcast that really, I think, put us on the map.
Yeah. Before we were kind of invited to the big dance, they were willing to come on and talk to 2 nerds about a wrestling
That's
gym
right.
breaking game.
And specifically, I put this on here too because I wanted to remind we had one like really like viral-ish moment where stuff got sent around the Discords early on. You remember what it was, Rusty?
No, what was it?
It was somebody who clipped out you saying to Davey D, "How do I taste in your mouth?"
Oh my gosh. He said, I want to leave a good. Now, for the context, Davey said, I just want to leave a good taste in everybody's mouth. And then I think I followed it up with like, what kind of taste do I leave? Yeah, anyway,
taste in your mouth, Davey.
And it wasn't to be controversial or shocking. It just was like,
no, it was just one of those moments. You say things. This is the internet now, right? We're in the internet. You say things and people just clip that one little segment out and go, "Oh man, did you hear this?"
Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm glad you brought up Iron Sheik 84 because he is the reason for my number 3 on my list. In-game top highlights of 2023 in WWE Champions for me was learning this little in-game trick of putting your best medals on the Rainmaker, right? So I got a set of Fury 2s and I've got a set of Takedown 2s, both on my Rainmaker strap that I constantly equip on whatever underpowered old poster is the CSS of du jour, right? So like my Tech Stacy that's hitting for nothing, and I had to go way back and watch a Garrison preview video to even see how to set up a Stacy, and she's required at such a higher level. So now having the Rainmaker strap with my Fury 2s or my Takedown 2s on it has helped me. At least once a week, I'm switching that on to a different superstar and going like, oh, I don't have to just slog through or lose these matches, especially now that the challenge match is a thing, or Extreme Rules, like some of the more complicated formats now. So the Rainmaker is on my top 5 as an MVP. If you don't have a Rainmaker, it's usually for sale once a year in the shop around tax time, or it's winnable or prize wallable. I'm to the point now where like I'd like to have a second Rainmaker, and like I would prioritize. And it's not just the belt for the Godfather. It's got so much value. Any thoughts on the Rainmaker? Do you do that?
Yes, I do. In fact, that's my same reasons. But real quick, let's pull back. So those who don't know what the Rainmaker is, it is a strap that works on any era, any gender, any class. I mean, you can literally put it on any character in the game, period. So it floats, just like yours, floats between a number of characters. There's the Rainmaker. People have what they call the Drip Maker. If you have a drip plate, we don't, neither of us. You put the drip on it and you move that around. Now, the disadvantage is the Rainmaker strap itself.
Titan Maker. Some guys will throw it.
Titan Maker,
That's bonkers. And I don't have a Titan plate yet. Hopefully that's coming back in shop, right? Hopefully, if anyone out there is listening that makes those decisions, the community would certainly love, especially those with like 14 plate tokens just hanging in the inventory waiting to be spent.
Well, you can't have 14. You 10. Well, 100.
I want a second Titan plate. I want
there 20. You go.
I want 2.
You want 2.
I want it all.
So yes, Titan plate, Titan Maker, Drip Maker, Rainmaker. What I want to see in the game is a ultimate era or ultimate strap, a white Drip Maker, because that one is the blue and you can't put the ultimate plates on it.
That's right. And I think
Drip Maker 2 or Rainmaker 2.
That's probably intentional. Like I would guess they're on to our little trick, right? And so they're probably like, that's too powerful. Like if we just that would just be on you would just switch to everybody every feud. You just like suddenly feud perks and like you wouldn't need props. You would just need like strap parts to like move them around all feud.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say. The limitation there is strap parts, because you get 100,000 of them if you max the 700 million talent up. So you might get 200,000 in a month.
Many.
You might get,
I didn't do
but
it.
You're gonna drain the resources of the community. If you saw yesterday, as we're recording this, I did my 3rd or 4th in a row 700 million talent up, and I'm getting to where I just can't. Like I'm not a whale. What's your
coin balance now? How many coins you got?
It's sub 500,000 or 500 million. Like on the lower end of that, like maybe even half of that now.
Yeah, I'm at like 100 down to 100 million. So I didn't even try. I didn't even attempt it. I was like, I'm drained. I'm out.
Well, I did it, but because the token shortage is so real, I also you can take up because take them up by tokens, and then all the tokens count instead of each individual coin plus the coin balance. But I mean, these last 2 in particular have been primarily coin. They've been primarily coin. So that's your limitation. And then before we lose it too, I just wanted to go back and say, you mentioned this because Iron Sheik is one of the things I find is really neat. Now that we're in conversations, that I can't repeat, but I can just share this side of it. Every person I've talked to where we've said, Iron Sheik helped put us on the map. We love Iron Sheik. Every single content creator or person we've talked to has said, I love Iron Sheik. I love that guy. That dude is so good. He is such a good dude. Like, so if you're listening, Sheik, we appreciate you. If you're in the community,
we love
give
you.
him a like and a follow.
Hugs and kisses.
Wow.
What? What's wrong with
Chance
that?
is going, excuse me, Rusty.
I'm an affectionate person. I don't I'm not afraid to share love from my heart with another content creator. I'm not afraid to say it. What's wrong with that? you know,
I
two
love it.
guys just letting the world they need more love. The world needs, especially at Christmas time. We're in this
Ooh,
middle of the holidays. Just walk up to a stranger today and just plant a kiss on them is the best advice I could probably give you.
that's called sexual predatory right now. Like we got scrub
What?
that.
No,
Go
like a
back.
kiss on the cheek, right? Just
Okay.
a nice. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Start with a smile
Obviously,
and
consent is
don't
key.
misinterpret this as
Obviously, this is being facetious, gone way
right.
too far.
Yeah.
What you got is your number 3, Lee.
Oh, my number 3, and this is with a strong set of exclamation marks after it. Grant Camping 2 Electric Boogaloo, y'all. I loved Zombie Grant Camping. That was phenomenal.
I don't even think his name holds any weight anymore because it was so good. And I'll say this. So you're sharing your number 3. It's literally my number 2. So we can just combine these two. Yeah. The Halloween prize wall, like,
yeah.
Does Grant Camping who? He don't what? He don't live here no more. We don't know him.
Right.
All right. But Halloween prize wall, I know that
so
name.
Good.
I know that name.
There's some debate in the community, and honestly, we have no inside information that maybe that was a glitch. Like we weren't supposed to get as much prize wall currencies. Whatever happened, we got it. And
whatever happened. Who cares?
Everybody in the community had an opportunity to get Zombie Gunther, maybe Zombie Liv or Zombie Becky, plates, some really neat stuff.
What'd you get? Tell us what
so
you got.
I took so if you remember, my plan was I was going for Zombie Becky no matter what. And then I happened to pull her.
Yeah, you spent a lot of money on that.
Well, it was a mega. No, yeah, it was a mega pull. My family bought me a mega pull, plus I had done some other stuff. So yeah, it might have been. It was in the
you got it from the pulls
range at least, but not. Yeah. I mean, that's not a lot compared to what some spent to get characters of that level. And legitimately, excuse me, Zombie Becky, without any tricks whatsoever, hits 30 million. Like
she's the best Becky.
Just easy. I think she's going to outlast Zombie Liv. I really do. I think the way the meta goes, I think Zombie Becky is going to be relevant.
That's a bold take, friendo.
Yeah, friendo, Steve Larson.
Yeah, I love those guys. Do you listen?
And then I took Zombie Gunther. So I pulled Zombie Becky. She was going to be what I took. I pulled Zombie Becky. So then I had the choice: do I take Zombie Liv or Zombie Gunther, Zombie Hogan, plus like 3 or 4 other things? Yeah. And as much as I wanted Zombie Liv, I went ahead and took those other things. So I have Zombie Gunther, I've got Zombie Hogan, I've got I don't remember, like there was a plate, there was a strap, there was
probably either the last ride, the Undertaker plate.
Oh yeah, the plates. That's right. The extra I got. So I have 2 of the sheriff's plate and then the last ride plate. Right. That's right. Good call. What'd you get?
So I don't think I had as many prize wall currency as the people that were claiming the ladies first. When I kind of calculated my total haul, I was like just shy of getting one of the ladies, and I wasn't sure that more currency was coming, when in fact I think if I would have waited a little longer, I would have got a little more. Yes. And I would. So I was quick on the draw. So I just immediately grabbed Zombie Gunther. Just like, I don't know if this is going to last. I don't know if this is a mess up. I'm just going to take it. He's mine. Right. So I grabbed him and I kind of waited, and I waited to see if I was going to get enough to get his plate. That's what I really wanted, was him and his plate. Well, I didn't end up having enough to get his plate. So I got the Heartstopper plate. I got a second sheriff's badge. I got Zombie Rhea, which is a key coach for my countdown, which I use John Cena, Ghostbuster Cena, to the next level, right? So so I took like what I thought was like bird in the hand, take the Gunther just in case something happens and they go, no, 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 we didn't. So I was like, I panicked. I
Right.
just panicked and I spent it all as quick as I could. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, actually, I realized I had a yes and on that. I've got to stop doing the peace symbol
the
because then it
balloons.
throws balloons all over my screen. Anyway, but I also have on here Grand Camping 2 and Thanks giveaway.
Oh
Thanksgiving
yeah, the
prize
turkey
wall,
timers.
Thanksgiving timers. Yeah.
What'd you get from
I
the turkey
got
timers?
I got Acro Dragon, which for the
Yes.
longest time I
Same.
could not get it.
Same.
I don't have Motu Dragon. Up until I got Zombie Dragon, I had no good steamboats whatsoever. And now I've got Zombie. He's the top of my roster still. And then I got that. Plus I got a couple others. I don't even remember who that
What
were.
remember there was a free 6-star and mine was Earthquake.
Oh, that's right. You got the one. Well, and then
So-
I pulled on the Thanksgiving loot. There's
yeah.
my light again. I thought I
Uh,
had that fixed.
that's
Anyway, I
okay.
pulled on the Thanksgiving loot and ended up with a couple of different 6-star pulls, but it got Fatu, and that was game changing. What about you, Rusty?
That's big. The turkey timers, I definitely got the Ricky Steamboat, and he was an essential entourage that I needed for my best superstar, which is anytime you can upgrade your best superstar. Mine's Relentless Kevin Owens, and he's
Oh,
6-star silver. And so now I've got that extra trap damage, and I've got the moment, the Cody moment, the American Nightmare moment. So he's just a
yeah.
feud monster. So yeah,
Mm,
it was the turkey. I don't remember the turkey timers being like. I'm gonna have to go back and search my screenshots. I didn't prepare on my list for that, but I mean, remember it was good. It wasn't as good as
it was
Halloween,
good.
but it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It was good. Well, and then with the Black Friday polls, again, Fatu, Judgment Day, Priest, R-Truth, who now that was one of the best polls I actually got, not even
Yeah.
realizing it then. But the biggest thing for me with that too, then, was you had the prize wall currency that you could spend on guaranteed 6-star posters. And mine were okay, but
Right.
6-star Acro HBK and 6-star Piper Niven were in that fuse up. And now both
Oh,
of those have already proven to be phenomenal because I don't have this as one of my things on my list, but the resurgence of old characters is like a
yeah.
bonus. I would say
Yeah.
if I would have thought of that sooner, that might have been like on this list with me.
It
So
seemed, well, I would say too, maybe that can be like number 5B.
5B, yeah,
So we did see, I want to say it was like 24 characters initially. 24 posters, superstars initially got a new
right,
move. And then in 12 days of Christmas, we saw another 12 get a new
right,
move. And it would appear that this is now normative and this is
yeah,
going to continue for all like speculative purposes.
right,
I would think that the community is really enjoying this. I bet they're going to keep doing it because
yeah,
especially when you revive someone that is obsolete or obscure and
yeah,
suddenly, because I felt like here's a great example, the free character that we all got, or the free month MLC Striker Rhea. She was okay.
oh,
And she's
yeah.
pretty good.
She can be good.
She was
Yeah,
okay.
if you got the
She's like,
tricks,
let's say like B tier, right? But then like
which she is. Yeah.
switch her move set now and let her steal people's trap gems and
Yeah.
like whoa,
Suddenly I mean, she against my zombie Becky would be a nuisance. I
right?
would hate to face her now,
That
even though my
Bianca,
zombie
that
Becky
Acro
can
Bianca,
destroy.
right? That
Oh
does
yeah.
like she's now you're actually saying like, okay, this was just like a freebie, but like and I got her to where I needed her maybe for trainer ability and I haven't used her in a year. And like
Right.
suddenly you're like, do I need to take her to 6-star?
Ooh.
Is she my best female striker?
Yeah.
If you need, and I don't have Judgment Day Rhea, so like suddenly it's like, is this my best Rhea?
Right.
Hmm.
Probably if you don't have Judgment Day, yeah.
Interesting.
Interesting. And this may be recency bias talking because this is now, like this is happening every day as we speak. In fact, tomorrow, as we record this, we get the honor of doing the preview on Hollywood Hogan, the
Brother.
update for him.
The
But
New World Organization, brother.
that's right. But like, okay, so for me, like they updated Vader.
Yeah.
Like that, they updated
Totally
Sacco. They
obscure.
updated some ones. I was like, wow, these like Vader had his time. Sacco definitely had his time, you know,
Right.
especially in like Showdown or it was a Showdown or Feud. But either way,
They fixed
they're
Sacco in
back.
exactly the way that that Mirek said they should. And I
Yeah,
know there was no communication, but he was like, if they would actually get that MP of a way to like crank up his MP, like he
right,
might be really useful. Next thing you know, right? Suddenly is like, oh, that's fixed.
right.
Is he my best
Hmm.
Attitude Era tech?
Interesting.
Yes. Is
Corporation, the corporate
yeah,
ministry, like, yeah,
right.
he's
Right.
guaranteed to be pretty much for most people now.
These are some, and I love the decision tree that's resulting from these
Yeah,
revamped, from these revamped move sets. It's been really fun. You ready
I
to go to your
agree.
number one? This was kind of
We're on
this was kind of
two.
a top six. Oh yeah, well my number two was also, and I echoed yes, the
Oh,
Halloween prize wall. So it's back to you for number two.
Oh, okay. Well, then, so I put three examples, but then I'll give you what it actually is. So Z Becky, Braun, and Fatu. And what it actually
What are
is
the things only
truly.
whales get, Alex, for 100? I don't know. What are you naming right now? Things out of reach of Rusty for the next 5 years? Bro,
Whoops.
okay. What could be the unifying things you will hang over my head for the next month or two? This is the
That's if I get
category.
Cody on the Christmas. That's if I get finished the Cody on
Oh,
the
you
Christmas
better
polls
not.
and you
You
don't.
better not.
You better do it, the American nightmare. No, no,
You know
it's
what would
these.
be? Let me just say really quick.
Sure.
So I'm going on a cruise. My kids don't know it yet. Hopefully they don't listen to this episode.
I was gonna say you just spoiled it.
But my wife and I are going to take some time away. We are getting away finally. She's busy. She's a busy lady, and we're finally taking a little time to ourselves. A little treat yourself, right? So we're getting away, and typically, I yeah. So here's what would be this cosmic retribution is if I was like, hey Lee, while I'm on the cruise, I won't have cell service. Could you just like open my account? Just grab those daily. Can you just grab that, that chest for me, or whatever? And then somehow, if Lee has to open Cody finish the story on my account, would be
Oh,
the greatest,
oh.
the heist of WrestleMania to ever happen. The Seth Rollins helicoptering the belt around to just taunt the opponents. That would be the greatest thing
Oh.
ever. If it's like, hey, there's a free loot coin today. Weird. Let me just click that for Rusty, and then it's like, finish the story, Cody. On my device. That would be
Wow.
incredible. That would be incredible. I don't know if any of that's ever even possible or could happen, or if ethically you should ever play one another's accounts. You probably should never do that. Share your password with anybody. Keep your account safe, et cetera, et cetera. All the rules, all the terms and conditions. We totally abide by them. Back to you, Lee.
So the unifying theme was these characters that I put as within reach. Now, Fatu, different story, but Zombie Becky, we talked about Prizewall. Braun being one of the, like he's the KO of this year for the guy
Right.
that we're going to talk about for the next year or two.
Yeah. Yeah.
That can hit for like 30 million, that can hit for 10 million turn one, that can like in
Yeah.
stun lock, that can but then there's the characters that are not in my reach, like I know Darkstar, Smash Quez, Brian, few BDC, few from our faction, Jekyll and Dr. Jenkins, and lots and lots and lots have gotten
Nice.
some
You
of these
just got a lot. There's a
characters.
lot of shout outs just now.
Yeah,
There's a
real
lot of
quick,
like,
like yeah,
wow.
that's like
Jackson Jinxed. I want to say what's up to my girl Jackson
Jackson.
Jinxed.
That's right,
It's
Jackson.
so
Yeah,
cool to have we actually have a female, she's like an officer in our
yeah,
faction. So like
and
a lot of
she
times the
hits.
girl players are rarer in the game.
Yeah.
And yet she's one of our consistently biggest scorers and super cool.
Yeah. Big
Down
shout
there in
out.
Australia. Good day, mate,
Yes.
Jackson.
Oh, let's not offend another continent. We've done that enough on this podcast. But what I'm saying is, like, there's characters that, like the Showboat Undertaker, like your Mello Doesn't Miss, like
Oh, he's
your,
so good.
Powerhouse
Oh,
Sammy, that even are a step beyond, that I don't have, that we don't have,
Solo
that are
Sikoa.
just
Solo
so good
Sikoa,
this
now
year.
he's the unicorn that I'm chasing, is Solo
Who
Sikoa.
is? Oh, Solo. Yeah.
That was the most fun. Well, maybe I call him free view, right? You get the preview superstar on your roster for like a week, get the free play with them.
Not the ones that we get now, but like
Right.
the
The
trial superstar.
whole community gets them. It's a
The
free view
trial
character, right?
superstar.
So like
Yeah.
I fell in love. I was like, this is the most fun I've had playing champions ever. I love Solo Sokoa. And then he was gone in just a blink of an eye. He was gone. And I tried my best that weekend. I spent a little money. I did some grinding.
When we were on our "you're not supposed to spin" thing,
I did. I broke our
you broke the
anti-spin
pact
code because I wanted that solo. No luck. No deal.
And that's why you don't have Finish the Cody. That's
chance. That's what you got. No chance.
All right, Rusty, what's your number one then?
Number one thing to happen to me in WWE Champions mobile game in 2023 was maxing my first month-long contest. Not only maxing my first, but starting a streak. I have maxed every MLC since starting the streak. I'm now up to, I think, 4, maybe 3 MLCs maxed consecutively. And I have no reason to believe that I won't max this 2-month MLC because I'm running the plays. I am, not only am I the co-host of this show, but I'm also an avid follower of the content and the information that we cover in the show. I am applying these truths to my life and living them out, and they have changed the trajectory of my play in this game.
It's awesome. That is awesome.
Your neighbor and say neighbor.
And if you haven't heard, make sure you go back on older episodes, because there's one when we very first started, and then an updated version as we were kind of getting really into the community of how to max an MLC. And it is possible. I didn't have this on mine, but follow up, yes, and yours is during our free-to-play experience that we did, that where we weren't going to spend. That was the Braun month. I know that because I got this close. I was like, oh my goodness, if I don't get him, I'm going to freak out. But in a sub top 100 faction, following what we talked about doing, with no money in the game whatsoever for that month, no passes, I think we both had King of Kings pass for a week because we had to let it expire.
We canceled it. Yeah, and then we canceled
them, everything for 1 month. And I was still able to max that MLC. And now Rusty, who had not maxed MLCs before, is consistently maxing them. So what we talk about works.
It really does. I'm proof that a free-to-play player can learn how to spend and when to spend wisely if they want to spend in the game. That they can spend better and make better choices. And also, I'm proof that you can have a sub 4 million roster, which I was at the time when we started this whole experiment, and that you can see your numbers continue to grow and go up and to the right and can break the 4 million barrier, and that you can have be winning those chase superstars month after month and get basically a nest egg of resources that are going to help set you up on the right foot for the next MLC. And that's the thing. Like, same thing with like getting the first 6-star superstar. Like, maxing the first one was what broke the dam and set me up to continue to max, and gave me the resource to do that. So
and talk about those, kind of combining what we talked about with community spotlights. Zach, who was our first community spotlight, clued us in to the fact that if you want to get these weekend characters, You don't go for the pulls to get them.
Right.
You go for shard recruits, which does include pulls. You know,
It's what I did.
Pulls,
it's what I did
recruits.
To recruit Chelsea Green. I applied Zach's strategy and got shards and slowly climbed the shard ladder and now have Chelsea Green. And I took her 6-star in the talent up. So I'm like, just
jealous,
it, boy.
Talk about those 30 to 80 million damage characters. Chelsea's right there.
Chelsea
Rusty called the manager.
You know, she lost the women's tag belts this week.
Oh, spoiler. But yes, I saw that. That was awesome.
It's like Wednesday. And by the time someone listens to this, if they don't know that she
moratorium
was
on spoilers has ended.
Well, come on. I mean, how long do you really get? I mean, we're 2 days away from SmackDown. We're like, come on. The night of is like the only no-fly zone, I think.
Gotcha.
Like if it's Monday night and you're East Coast and you're blowing up spoilers while people are still at work in the West Coast, like that's wrong. That's wrong. Okay, 2 days Rusty. Out. What? Yeah, I've done it.
The Rock. The Rock is back. Oh my gosh, it's The Rock.
Yeah, Ross showed up on SmackDown in Denver, and Lee's like at the office trying to like clock out for the day, and I'm on the open chat where spoilers are not allowed. You know, like OMG, The Rock, he's here. I never
right. I remember that.
So now it's a running joke. I actually post OMG, The Rock in the chat of the. What is it called in the game? That little global chat, where people are like trying to recruit.
Right? You just troll with it's The Rock.
Here in War Games, I posted in global chat, the 5th member is The Rock. Like the secret that Randy Orton would he show up.
Oh man. Crazy. Crazy. Well, let's finish out this part of it. So my number one, which is where you started. So we start and end with, we are official content creators now.
No big deal. Get to work.
No big deal. Yeah,
put up or shut up. Come on. Just make content. Quit talking about yourself. Give us tips to get better in the game.
Hey, I'm getting content tips now from the other. The biggest was, hey, don't post so much. Like let it breathe, bro. Let it breathe.
Yeah. Oh man, like day one of being official, I think we launched 30 new videos or something like that.
No, but I put like 6 3-minute movesets back to back. So I didn't put that on here.
We typically
3-minute movesets. I think this podcast and 3-minute movesets are that 1A, 1B that put us on Scopely's radar.
And it's long form, short form content, our content funnel. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We want to we want to be the longest and the shortest of all the content creators. Nothing weird.
Pause.
No Christmas. No Christmas jokes. No strange innuendos. Just we want to have the longest content and the shortest. David D, why did you say that to yourself? I cannot, for the record, there's no way to imitate or emulate what Davey does. It's so incredible.
Oh yeah. He is the most he's just got the most personality. I just love it. So
I know.
But yeah, we posted like 6 3-minute movesets back to back to back. Because me, as an Enneagram 3, as someone who wants to check off boxes, legitimately I have a goal that I want to see every single character we're allowed to post now in the game in a 3-minute moveset as soon as possible. Because whenever somebody posts like, hey, I just pulled this any good, I want the go-to to be like, oh yeah, go check out the 3-minute moveset. Just like boom, immediately. That's the reactionary move.
Yeah.
So and if you look, it's working. Like you did the Tech Stacy 3-minute moveset.
That's the longest it's ever taken
the amount of views as our previews. Stacy has 4 times the amount of views as our previews of new characters that are like
terrific,
really good.
Because Stacy is the longest I've ever spent on a 3-minute moveset. It took me legit hours to get like, okay,
anything good out of the stone.
I think I can consistently win matches with this. And then I would start losing and I'm like, no, scrap it. I got to do something different. So like, It really took a lot. And I didn't just want to throw the rainmaker on her and be like, this is what you got to do. Cause
Right.
I wanted it to be like legit shareable across the
Right.
community. Hey, if you just side note, if you're a faction leader and you have a faction moveset server, I know a lot of you guys out there do, you're more than welcomed, if not encouraged, to share our 3-minute moveset videos. And they're actually all succinctly listed in one playlist on our YouTube channel. It's probably right about here on screen. Just click that right there.
Oh, I got to figure out how to do that. Can we talk about how the fact that we are middle-aged men who are trying to figure out teenage technology here, even though YouTube is not, but some of that, like we're working right now on our Streamlabs setup to get Twitch going. Yeah. Like we're working on it, but it wasn't just like, oh, there it is. It's like, hey, who do we got to call to figure this thing out? I'm old.
Can I get my grandson to help me with my mobile phone?
I better not. My son is only 12 years old. He better not be.
Yeah. Anyway. You're a grandpa?
Whoa, I better not be.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah, that'd be weird. That wouldn't even make sense. Sorry. It's the sweater. It makes you look like a grandpa, and the bald head. It's like you literally look like the grandpa emoji.
Wow.
It's better than I look like the pregnant man emoji. So what? Whatever. Like my face is so red right now. So,
any closing thoughts on in game before we move to WWE?
It's really cool to be. It's really cool to be. I think to have had the best year I've ever had in Champions, and we hope you also have a similar story. Because I've said it since the beginning, like there's no better time to play this game than right now. And I really believe that, because we've been like, I always refer back to the miserable 3-star meta where the Miz was my best superstar and I got his gear and I thought it took me to the next level. And 5-lane feuds and all that stuff.
Right.
Let's shift gears.
So wait, what's coming next for this Champions Chat channel now that we have some things? So you're going to start to hear some new intro music by our good college buddy Little Dre McCoy.
Oh man,
we have some permissions now to use his beats.
We're actually going to have
some.
We're going to have some hip hop intro, man. And Lil Dre's got really tight beats. I love it. Like good stuff.
So support Lil Dre on Apple Music and Spotify. We'll have links in all of our videos going forward for him.
Lee,
he's going to be the official theme song of the Champions Chat podcast. And we are working on our Twitch presence because we get to start doing these things called official Champions streams. Ooh, Kingmaker. Yeah. So we got to work on that. We're getting it ready.
Hi, everybody. Merrick's here. I'm just bringing you the next. I need to work on my stream voice. What does that sound like?
Hey, everyone. Goldie here.
Hey, everyone.
What's up, WWE Champions Universe? My name's DJ and on ZT, and we're back with WWE Champion. Yeah.
Class is in session. No, let's not do anymore.
Okay, all right. We'll stop there.
Time out. I don't want to. Yeah. Imitation is the highest form of flattery, just for all of the.
We are not making fun. No.
I doubt the other content creators watch our stuff, but they are. We want them to know that we love them.
That's right.
That we have crushes on you all. Candy crushes.
We legitimately watched them from the stadium going, man, these are the guys before we got on the field with them. Like we love the official squad and the non-official squad. Yeah, you got your great J-Mans out there. You got your Iron Sheik 84. You got your Alex Gaming. You got lots that are unofficial. My favorite, that are making some great content.
Sapper Gaming. Daddy. Dude, I freaking love some Sap Daddy chats with Milo, the dog, Milo the husky, and when he needs to go outside, he jumps up in Sapper's lap. And it's just it's so cute. You've never
nice.
Anyway, I'm getting emotional. Let's turn the corner to WWE TV. Top 5 moments or things that happened in 2023 that caught your attention, that entertained you, that shocked and awed you, that wowed you or wooed you. What you got for us, Lee?
Well, we said top five. I have seven. So can I
That's
do two
fine.
bonus quickly here,
Yeah.
or how do we
Whatevs,
do
man.
this?
Just work them in organically if you want. How about
Okay.
this?
All right.
How about this? I'll throw one out there, and if one
Okay.
of yours matches it or fits,
Strike
let's
it.
because there may be some of the less. Okay.
All right.
Number five, the revival of NXT.
Ooh.
NXT Black and Gold brand used to be iconic, basically became the standard of sports entertainment there for a season, especially with Paul Levesque overseeing creative there in NXT. And he
Mm.
did some incredible things down there in what used to be called developmental. So developmental suddenly became like the stars of wrestling.
The place
And
where
this,
Becky Lynch is the
yeah,
champion and the Undertaker's showing up,
yes,
and
yes.
yeah,
Suddenly NXT is demanded. They're demanding that you watch it by it
right.
being so captivating,
Yep.
and where the stars are feuding and where they are resolving key plot points and bridging the gap between Raw and SmackDown on NXT.
That's right.
NXT it has been better in like the Gargano days, like the DIY feud. I still
Hmm.
think is some of the greatest
Top of the map.
wrestling ever. Top of the
Yeah.
mountain, yeah. The Finn Balor days, the Bobby Roode days, like it.
Mm.
It was that was the best, and now
Right.
it's approaching that level again, and I am really excited.
Ooh.
I'm really excited about NXT. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my first honorable mention goes to Royal Rumble 2023. It would make the list if they had finished the story at WrestleMania, because I don't think spinning our wheels on Cody for a year was the plan with all this.
Mm.
But I mean, I got to say, Gunther and Cody starting it out and Gunther and Cody ending it up. Oh, that was a good Royal Rumble. I liked it, and I would put it way high on my list if they had done something better with Cody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Um, I'm gonna abstain from commenting on this.
Well, here, since I have more, let me give you my second honorable
Yeah.
mention, which
Nice.
is the women's war game match. I
Oh
loved
yeah.
the women's war game match. I think it was
Yes.
better. Like the men's had the shock factor of Randy coming back, CM Punk coming back, that insane RKO, which that
Yes.
alone deserves an honorable
Right.
mention. JD off the
Right.
cage, and then Randy gets him. But the women's war game match I felt was just really good. I enjoyed
It
it.
was more entertaining
Yeah,
by
I
far.
think so.
Yeah, it was more
Yeah.
entertaining. It was
All right, so
better.
we're in my top five now.
Yeah,
So we're good
super good.
again.
I don't have women's war game on my top five, but I will say this, and this is my number four, is the women's division has stayed interesting and flourished even without the big three being involved in every
Mm,
story or every
right.
situation. The big three being like your Charlotte, Bianca, and Becky,
Bianca,
right?
Becky.
Like
Yeah.
those are the three that it seemed like they had really gotten stuck and didn't
Yep.
know how to tell stories aside from them.
Yep.
Now we've got this really cool women's heel faction, Damage Control, wreaking havoc on the women's division. Now we've got these
Mm.
sensational young call ups, and out of
Oh yeah.
nowhere,
Ivy
Ivy
Nile.
Nile. Are you
Wow.
kidding me?
We both
Ivy
said it.
Nile, out of
Yeah.
nowhere, is
Wow.
now challenging Rhea Ripley for a title.
Right.
And it's believable and it's
Yep.
good. And
Yep.
those other really talented ladies that are queens of the mountain are still there and still doing wonderful things. Yet the division has more talent and more and is just better the broader it's gotten. So that's
Right.
my number four, is that women's wrestling is here to stay.
Yes, I love that. And I will follow up. Instead of my number five, I'll give my number five in a minute, but my number four follows those lines. Becky versus Trish cage match.
Oh,
Surprise match of the year, possibly for me.
Do you know what Trish is doing now?
No,
She is
fitness model.
So she's essentially like the Heidi Klum of Canada's Got Talent. You know, like America's Got AGT. She's one of the people that sit at the table and ring the X.
Golden buzzer.
Yeah. She's I follow her on Twitter, like with our Champions account. So a lot of the WWE talent, like we follow or X, and she's always posting about what's going on Canada's Got Talent. I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah. Right. Well, Becky versus Trish, that cage match, I was surprised how good it was.
Oh yeah.
And Trish walked away with like legit like gouges and like goose. Yeah. Just all like she took some hits in that. So thank you, Trish. I appreciate what you're doing on Canada's Got Talent, but I sure appreciate it more what you did in that ring, because that was phenomenal.
It started out really interesting with Lita, and then it became uninteresting, and then it got really interesting again. And so they did it.
And bringing up Zoe Stark, one more of the girls we just go, wow, her Z360, perhaps my favorite finishing move right now, period.
Yeah, Zoe Stark has now, let me just say this, like this might be the kiss of death, is as much as I love Zoe Stark, now I think they're gonna tag team her with Shayna Baszler. I think they're gonna make her.
Oh, they are.
It was like,
we know they are.
Like don't make Zoe like a fake Ronda. Don't make Zoe.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Do you remember when what's her name? She was with Ruby
Piper Niven. Oh, we can't see that one.
Well, what's the
Liv Morgan?
The little girl, what were they called? The little stable, the faction. There was like 3 of them. And
you're talking about Liv and
Deville.
Sonya Deville.
Yeah, Deville. When she first came out, she was like MMA, like shorts, like wrestling, like ground technician.
Oh, okay.
It's that same vein. Like we've seen that same, but that's what Shayna is, and like it's believable. And now that Shayna's like the MMA, like she bested Ronda, so like make that her thing. But don't partner with another one. Don't just be like more of the same. Like it's
just
like,
throw continually into tag teams.
Like Zoe looked cool in like the jeans and like the leather jacket and kind of like the biker, kind of like tough girl. But like now it's like MMA Endeavor, which is like okay, but like there's like women can be interesting beyond just that 1 or 2 stereotypes. So
yeah. Gotcha. All right. What's your next one, Rusty?
Like, weird hill to die on, bro. Okay. Number 3 for me is the Judgment Day becoming believable heels. They did not start out as very believable. And I thought they were going to implode once they had a change in leadership and Finn took over and someone left the company, and like they really floundered, and it just became like they're losing every week. They come out and say they run Raw, and yet they lose every match. Like they were not believable heels. And somewhere around, I don't know, the middle of 2023, I started noticing like, oh, they're winning. Damian Priest
won
Money in the Bank.
Gold.
Yeah. Now they're the tag champs. They just beat Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens like in this incredible hardcore match, right? And so Rhea is such a great I want to say like China. Like she's such a great like female lead of the faction. They're almost DX-ish. But they're different enough to where it's fresh and new and cool. And they're legit heels. And I'm sporting their merch, you know,
nice.
on the Black Friday sale. So I like Judgment.
Nice.
I didn't think I would ever like Judgment Day. Like I legit now, I really do. I'm very entertained and very interested in what the Judgment Day is doing.
Well, let's keep that going because my number 4 was everything happening with the Judgment Day. And in parentheses, I put especially lately with R-Truth. Like, I don't want him to go like from these
Yeah.
dominant heels to a
Yeah.
comedy act, but R-Truth,
Right.
oh my goodness. Just, I mean, this is like gold. This is
Oh yeah.
just
Yeah.
gold, what
He
they're doing
steals
with
every
him.
scene he's in, and it's so
Oh
good.
yeah.
It's so right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then
Him.
Judgment Day, you've already talked about, but even adding JD McDonough, he added this extra element there where like, are they going to let him in? Are they not? And then suddenly what
He's.
that did
Can I
is
throw this?
Dom no longer has to be the one getting whooped, right?
Can I throw
Dom
this
can have
idea?
his own character aside from that, and then JD gets to take all the beatings.
I think JD McDonough is function. If Rhea is China, JD is X-Pac.
Oh,
And I think there's
oh,
some real
hmm.
functionality within that comparison. And like I think there really
Interesting.
is, because now, Finn, now who's who, it doesn't hold up, right? But Finn's
Right.
kind of the HBK, and
Yeah.
and Damien's kind of the Triple
The
H,
Triple
and
H.
but they're
Yep.
also kind of the Road Dog, Jesse J, the tag champs,
Yeah.
and they've got that going for them. But like JD, he's not. I mean, he's the X-Pac. He's the acrobat. He's the one that's going to do. He's going to get the comedy spot. He's going to take the
Yeah.
cheap hit. He's going to
He's gonna
be.
take the RKO off the top of the cage. Pew!
Or those guys
Yep.
couldn't do that. Dave Priest couldn't have took that spot. I mean, he would have
Right.
been in a. He would have been really hurt. And so yeah, like I think he's basically the stunt double. He's the
Oh,
he's the one that's like taking the big shots.
I love
I don't.
it.
I don't know. I mean, do you have a different take on that? What?
No, I think I mean I've never thought of the DX comparison, but I think you're absolutely right. I just he's the stunt double. I'm like, ooh,
He is.
sorry,
He's a
man.
human punching bag for now until he does something to legitimize
Yeah,
his role. Like, what value does he offer other than I brought Damien a purple chest? It's pretty.
right.
That's
I
my
know who he
gift to
is.
you. Yeah. So,
Have you ever played Super Smash Brothers?
oh yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah. You know the sandbag that you hit in the tutorial to see how far you can get it to fly and to see how good each character is? He's the
Yeah.
sandbag to see, okay, if Cody hits him, he goes this far. If
Oh
Gunther hits him, he goes
man,
this
that's
far.
funny. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh,
That's a funny comparison.
wow.
Yeah, for sure. For
Well,
sure.
I wouldn't have had it if you hadn't brought that up. So, you or me next.
What number are you on? I've shared top
I'm
three.
I'm
I'm up
on
to
three,
three.
two, and one.
Yeah, I'm on just two and one, so it's you.
Okay. So my number 3 is CM Punk coming back and what
Oh,
this means long term for the sport.
he didn't make
Because
my
we have
list.
talked a lot. I especially like I love the behind the scenes stuff as much as I love what's on camera. And we have no official confirmation, but we mentioned it based on some things that were happening. Not that we were first, but we were in that early pack that brought it up of like CM Punk coming is actually bigger than just him being back in WWE. It is
Right.
potentially
Because what it means for the
WB
business.
Discovery
Right. Right.
changing plans from that other company to now all of a sudden like WWE might be back in a place of dominance, and legitimately it's because of CM Punk. And somebody else brought this up. We did our Royal Rumble predictions, which you can see that video on the channel. And I mentioned either CM Punk or Cody's going to win the Rumble, and then either CM Punk or Cody, whichever one doesn't win the Rumble, is going to win the Elimination Chamber. And somebody brought up what I missed is that this Royal Rumble is exactly 10 years since CM Punk left
Right.
the company.
Right.
So to come back and win the Rumble, I don't know how the bookers at WWE don't just go, oh, that writes itself.
Yeah, I think that feels inevitable, especially with the build towards Seth. Like
Yeah,
I don't think they're just gonna show that match at a day one or at a
right.
low. And maybe they will. Who
Yeah,
knows, right? They've they've
right.
done stranger things in the past. Like the
It's
Batista
true.
returned to the Rumble and things like that. So
Yeah.
anything
It
can
changed
happen.
things.
Anything can happen at the Royal Rumble.
Right.
Always. Like,
Yep.
expect the unexpected. There will be surprise returns. It happens every year. There will be hopefully a dramatic and exciting finish. It happens every year. And there will be a someone who outlasts the competition in an impressive way, whether it's in the men's or women's Rumble. What you got, Lee?
Surprise return. AJ, CM Punk's wife, Lee.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be super cool.
If she
I thought you were going to say AJ
skips?
Styles. And I was like, what?
Oh, AJ.
Yeah.
Okay, can we just talk about AJ Styles came back with like 600 pounds of muscle?
Why?
What in the world?
And what for?
Oh my gosh,
And
he
what
looks
is he?
good.
Is he going to be in the Judgment Day? That would be cool. That would be cool.
Add AJ to the Judgment Day
to kind of revive like
the club.
Yeah, like the kind of on the indie circuit, right? The whole, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like that would be super cool. That would be super cool. Otherwise, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna feud with Bloodline? Is he gonna feud with Bloodline? Like
it like, seems like he started something with LA Knight. It seems like they're going LA Knight versus AJ until maybe that's the Mania play.
Maybe that's the match at day one, or something like that.
No. That's because AJ, think about one of the best WrestleMania matches that nobody talks about is AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. AJ Styles got an amazing match out of Shane McMahon. Yeah. And I'm not saying LA Knight is limited in the ring. Other people have.
The best in the world, Shane McMahon. Remember when he won that?
Best in the world. Yeah.
Remember that?
But AJ legitimately could platform, like he could be the guy who puts LA Knight over in a way that makes you believe, because AJ can get a good match.
But he'd have to be evil to do it.
He's evil.
He'd have to be a heel. He'd have to be Judgment Day.
Evil.
Yeah. Come on, please. And he returned wearing all black. Who wears all black? Judgment Day.
That's it. Black cowboy hat. He's clearly the bad guy.
Yep.
Number
two, the streaks. Roman, this year has really, I think, been defined by the streaks, and I think they've been streaks that actually are going to break records from our childhood that have held up for the duration of our lifetime. I think that Roman is going to break Hulkster's 1,400 plus days as champion.
That means he has to be champ till September.
Shut your dirty mouth. There can be other ways.
That means no finish in the story.
I don't know. Maybe so. I'm conflicted. I don't know the future. It's unknown.
The future either. But let me just say, if Cody doesn't finish the story this WrestleMania, I don't know that people are going to believe in him anymore. At least not as champion. Like, he can still be one of the top guys, but he will always be the B list if he doesn't finish the story.
I don't know if he'll face Roman at WrestleMania.
I think he will, but you're right. I think that actually adds to the drama, though, because that behind the scenes element of, okay, if Roman wins and stays champion until September, then he becomes the second longest reigning champion of all time, right? Or is it third? Is Pedro Morales ahead of him? We have to Google this. I don't know. Obviously, we know who's number one. That's Bruno.
Hulkamania is the guy he's coming up on.
Hulk's number two, I think. If not, then Pedro. Yeah. But either way, he would be top three all time if he does this. Or you have Cody. And if you don't put the belt on Cody soon, it's like, well, he can be a tag team champion. That's fine.
Don't you dare say that about Cody Rhodes.
Maybe we'll give him a gimmick where he paints his face if he doesn't win, and takes this from AJ Styles with like a symbol of some kind. Maybe a square or a diamond.
He will never do Stardust again. He will never be Stardust again. He's a star, no longer Stardust.
No longer in the dust.
Also, Gunther's breaking Honky Tonk Man's Intercontinental record. This year's a streak. It's like impressive, really impressive. And I thought it would make the stories stale and yet somehow they've kind of heightened the stakes and made them
Yeah.
more interesting. And I don't know what the implications are going to be. Who is possibly going to be able to take the belt off either one of these guys? They almost seem unbeatable. They
Yep.
almost seem like they're untouchable at this point. So,
Yep. My number 2, Triple H fully getting creative control. We don't need to talk about the behind the scenes of what happened with this, the merger, with all that kind of stuff, but it became very clear, and then it was verified publicly through Fightful and other such sources, that Triple H is fully in charge of creative now, and it shows. We have DIY on TV prominently. We are seeing NXT superstars come up and not be reset. That's the best way to say it. Like, you come up and all of a sudden everything you did just doesn't exist. But now Carmelo comes on to SmackDown and he is already all the momentum of Carmelo Hayes. He's in the tournament. He's going for it, right?
It makes so much more sense the way they're doing it now. Instead of a weird promo package with a new name. It just
gimmick.
Viking Raiders are a great example of like
the Viking experience.
Huge. They had huge heat. I mean, people loved them or hated them, but they were talked about and monsters. And then suddenly change the name, change the look, change the persona, change their not only the tag team name, but change their individual names. And it was just like bizarre. And then put them in promo packages and they build and like we don't know.
They go bowling.
Like we don't know they exist. We don't know NXT is like the discontinuity was crazy. Like it assumed the worst of the wrestling fan. Like we're just rubes that don't know how to connect the dots and only see it live in the arena. That's the only thing we know or talk about, the way the old territory days were and the pre-TV days. It's like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Give Pete Dunne his name back. Pete Dunne, like, get Butch the heck out of here, man. Like, it's great history behind that, Yeah.
I think it'll happen, but it's surprising that hasn't happened yet. Specifically. Anyway,
I don't know if you know this, but last night they did a spot. I think it's a work, but it's Ridge Holland injuring the reigning NXT champ, Ilya Dragunov. Like, carried off mid-match, ref throws up the X, done. And Ridge is looking remorseful on NXT, like, oh my gosh, I hurt him really bad. And it's weird, and I think it's a work, and it's like, it
better be.
This is the wrong guy to do that with.
Right. Oof. Well, I mean, there's history.
Look that up today. If you're listening, it's weird.
Right.
Yeah. Because I like Ridge.
Stretch.
I like the Brutes. I like what they were doing. I like the tag team. I like
stables.
I loved it all. Yeah. It was so good. Have you shared your number 1 yet?
I haven't. Do you want me to go? Because mine, let's do mine.
Because mine's already came up on the list. Mine's already came up on the list. Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
All right. You go last. You get the last spot for the year. All right. So my number 1, you mentioned it, but specifically not Roman. Roman Reigns doesn't make my list at all. I did not care about Roman Reigns existing this year. He had no impact on the TV other than waiting for Cody. Mine was Gunther becoming longest reigning Intercontinental Champion, specifically because it ties to what we just talked about with the previous booking. When Walter came up to the big leagues, they let him keep his gimmick, but historically, famously, the words 3-week push were thrown around, and creative at the time was getting tired of him and going, okay, we're gonna push this guy to the side because he has nothing to offer. And then
insane.
And then now he's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history. And what that sets up I know we're possibly gonna do something in the new year that's like, what are we hoping to see in 2024? But where we're at in 2023, Gunther has cemented himself with the Royal Rumble victory, with the Intercontinental title. If they would just stop trying to break up the stinking Imperium. That's
that's
don't break up
weird.
Imperium.
That's
Leave
a
it alone.
weird play. Like let him have his henchmen, it just
Yeah.
builds his power.
Yeah.
I was not a believer at first,
Ooh.
especially in NXT UK. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. I just thought this guy doesn't quite have the je ne sais quoi, right? The unspeakable. It's just that
Yeah.
something, right? I was wrong. He and Miz put on one of the best
Good.
matches of the year this week on
Good.
Raw. Like,
Yes.
like the rematch, like the rubber
Right.
match, was it arguably a 5-star match on
Yeah.
Raw, which you don't see,
You don't see.
especially with it. I mean, it was so, the fans were chanting, "This is awesome." I mean, it was like
Yeah.
and it has so much emotion, so much story. Um,
Right.
it was
It was
really good.
great.
Gunther's doing
And when
great
he
work.
power bombed Drew onto Sheamus at WrestleMania, that was immediately like, oh, this is your next boss monster.
Right.
This is your next unbeatable. So what I mean, again, going to the future side, we'll get to, but what I'm looking forward to is once we've settled Seth and Roman being the boring champions that they are, then we get Gunther
I
to
can see
step
that.
into one of those spots. And then it's who can chase Gunther. And then it's super exciting. Cody has one belt, Gunther gets the other, something like that. And you've got your hero of the company, and you've got your unstoppable force that meets the
Yeah.
immovable object,
As much as I love
Gorilla.
Cody, I don't think he's going to hold the belt long. I mean, I just they don't lead, they don't let the baby face of the company, um the babyface world champ just isn't, it doesn't sell. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
have the drama. You always kind of want to see him trying to best the bad guys.
Yep.
And I hate that. I hate that that's the reality of the business, but it could be a pretty
Right.
short reign for
That's why they're
Cody.
booking it this way. The chase is more interesting than when he's got, but
Yeah.
if he doesn't have the belt for at least a little while, we've talked about it one of two ways. Either Damian Priest cashes in the second Cody wins, and so Cody gets the belt. He gets to say, I honored my father. Maybe they even play it up. Like they bring out a
Oh no.
statue of Dusty, that big gold or Hall of Fame one. They bring out the statue of Dusty, and Cody like reveres the statue. Dad, I did it. It's for you. And then
Oh
briefcase to
no.
the back of the head. Boom, he's gone.
When does that contract expire? Like, my kids were
Money in the
actually
Bank,
asking. Yeah.
2024.
Is that it? So it's not
It's
WrestleMania. He
after,
can
no,
use
it's
it.
after WrestleMania.
He's gotta, gosh, how has he not cashed that thing in yet? Like,
Which is awesome. I love that, by the way. These short, like same day, next
right.
week kind of cash ins, like you build up the win. When is it going to happen? And my call, Cody win. I still think it would have been better on Dom, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Cody bows to the statue of Dusty, and right behind him, bam, briefcase to the head.
My number one on the list was Cody winning Royal Rumble and headlining WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Number one most interesting, most exciting thing in wrestling this year has
Yep.
been the resurgence of the good guy. The
Oh
resurgence
yeah.
of Cody actually talked in the press conference about how he and Sami Zayn were in the ring, and it was at the end of a PLE, and he talked in that press conference about how they basically turned to one another and said, like, this is a special era, like this is a special moment, but also that there's this era right now of like likable good guys that you really want to
Yeah.
see them, and it's not just one or
Right.
two. It's not just one
Several.
Cena, that it's like there's like 5 or 6 of them that like
Yeah.
are really
Yeah.
over and you really want to see succeed.
Right.
And yet Cody coming back from the pec injury after an absence and then winning the Rumble, headlining WrestleMania. You got a mini weird comeback story within his first 2 years with the company. And as much as I missed him during his absence, I think his legend and his persona grew and benefited from him taking that time away and recovering. I'm so
Agreed.
excited about what's going to happen next with Cody, but I have no clue how it's going to play out. Any number of these things could happen. I could actually see Cody being so about the business that he has resigned in his heart. I'll never have what my father never had. Like I could
Ooh,
honestly see him making statements to creative like that. It's just like, you know what? I don't need it. I don't.
yeah.
It's not gonna honor my father. In fact, I'm gonna walk the same road. I'm gonna live out instead of winning the title he never had. I'm gonna live the hard times that he lived as a
Right.
testament to him. I really could see that happening.
Maybe. I mean, and that might be the way they redeem, because I mentioned obviously he's if he doesn't get the title, he's lost interest to a large portion of the fan base. But yeah, either he doesn't get the title or maybe Damian cashes in and then he had it for a moment and the story becomes, okay, I got to finish one page of the story. I got
Yeah.
to, so now it's the next
Right.
chapter of the story, because you're right. It's the pursuit, it's the baby face, it's the uphill battle. And if he becomes the guy who just sits on the mountain for, if Cody outlasts Roman's reign, then Cody becomes the bad guy, right?
Yeah. And I mean, Stone Cold is a great example of like, he always needed to be chasing the title and getting
Right.
screwed over by Mr.
Yeah.
McMahon. Like that's what made it
Yeah.
so compelling to watch. Was not that he held that gold and was the greatest ever. It was just that like this guy's got to go through everything,
Yeah.
and it's always out of reach. And
Yep.
so you want to keep watching to see if he's ever going to get it.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And that might be the angle. Cody knows the business. Cody knows the creative. He did it and he did it elsewhere, that he wasn't always the king of the mountain, and he helped put over young guys, and
Yeah.
that could very likely be what we see play out. I don't. Well, that's it for my top five. That's it for this episode.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about this game. We've talked a lot about WWE TV, and we're going to take some time to just enjoy both of them this week. We might record something separately or together. We'll see how it feels. What are you thinking, Lee, as we kind of end this year and the week of Christmas, and as we take time with our families? What's on your heart and mind, and what do you think we're going to do within the next 2 weeks?
Well, I mean, I know that we do have the weekend previews. We've got our Hulkamania remastered series, so we'll have a few
Brother.
videos, brother. Yeah, we got that. We've got all three of the Hogans for the revised move sets, but I know we're going to do some things along those lines. I think probably the last podcast of the year for sure. We won't be on next week, so make sure you don't try to tune in and go, wait, what happened here? We're taking some time. It's the end of the year.
Where are my fourth favorite content creators? I haven't seen them lately.
Wow. That's right. I'll take it. I'll take it. Number 4, baby.
Well, no, I don't even know how many of us there are, but I would, say like, where are my eighth favorite if there were 8, but anyway, but
Yeah. Middle of the pack, baby. No, I think that's and to everyone out there, however you celebrate the holidays, happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, Joyeux Noel. We appreciate you guys.
Was that
We
French
appreciate
Canadian?
this community. It
Was that for Garçon? If I speak a French Canadian?
Ooh. Hey, we've got some things coming up for next year that may or may not have to be going through Scopely's legal department before they can happen. So keep staying tuned.
No teasers, no spoilers, please, especially if it involves legal. I don't know. I have not consented to the following things that will be said.
Oh, that was it.
Okay,
we're
good.
going out on a teaser for the year.
Nice.
2024 going to be the best year for champions, going to be the best year for Champions Chat. And we so appreciate you in this community. We've talked a lot about it this year. Take care of your mental health, take care of your spiritual being, take care of yourself, and take care of this community, because it can be a special place if we let it be. Have a good, amazing, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. And continue to smash gems together.